I'm Ryan, and I'm back again with another Ryan Sports Reviews. This time, it's for Toronto FC 0, DC United 0. Toronto FC and DC United played to a 0-0 draw tonight at BMO Field. DC United rested Wayne Rooney, Luciano Acosta, and Paul Arriola up until the second half. And they parked the bus the whole time, and nobody smashed and grabbed 3 points. We split the points, 1-1, puts DC United clear up in first at the Eastern Conference. Toronto FC now in 5th in the East, but if Atlanta wins their game later tonight, which we won't know unless you look it up, because I'm not staying up that late, and I'm not going to wait to do this video. If they win their game or draw their game, they will be in 5th and we will drop back down to 6th. This is not the type of game we wanted, and it's not what we hoped for, but honestly, it probably only happened this way because Josie Altidore got injured again. In training yesterday, he has a heel problem. I don't know if it's more Achilles injury or if it's just a bruised heel or it has something to do with his calf injury. He probably does, but he's out. He didn't play today. He wasn't in the 18. He was replaced by Jordan Hamilton and Terrence Boyd, and it didn't work out. And Io Akinola, I guess U.S. Soccer told Toronto that you better not play him considering the U20 World Cup is about to come up. We don't want him hurt, because U.S. Soccer has probably done that before to TFC, like making them play Clint Irwin against, I think, LAFC. It's not, at least that's my theory. That's my theory last year. They had Clint Irwin start against LAFC for Alex Bono, and the U.S. called up Alex Bono for that international window right after, and I think they did, and that was my theory. It may not have been true, but I believe it because the U.S. Soccer Federation probably don't want to see us win, you know? And we had a horrible season anyway, so that's that. But going back to this game, Toronto FC played awesome, well on offense. They dominated. They had 67% possession by the end of the game, and at the end of the first half, it was 75-25. They were dominating. They were dominating. All DC could do, if they tried to score a goal, they were counterattacking. But most of that match, they were sitting back, parking the bus, a Jose Mourinho anti-football special. They were sitting back around Bill Hamid, and he had a good game. I have to say, Bill Hamid had a very good game as the goalkeeper for DC United. It looked like he was like De Gea out there, or Onana from Ajax, or Lloris is too crap, Kepa. He looked like Kepa out there. He looked like Bern Leno. He looked like, yeah, he looked like Szczesny, Trapp. Any good goalkeeper you want to think of, he looked like that. We made him look like that. Because Jordan Hamilton, he didn't do good tonight. He didn't even get much service. They were like, yeah, we kind of know you're going to screw this up unless they're tired, so no. And Pozuelo tried to hold them up on his shoulders and be like, I'm going to do this myself. No. Osorio had a good couple of chances, had a good couple of runs, didn't shoot, opted for the pass, probably should have shot. Alro. He had a perfect chance on goal. Perfect. Could have shot. Probably would have put it past Hamid. Got his first ever MLS goal. He didn't do it. He should have, but he didn't. And then, in the 72nd minute, Alejandro Pozuelo has control of the ball in the box, gets pulled down, it goes out, they call it a corner instead of a penalty, even though that was a clear penalty. That was a clear penalty. And they didn't go to VAR. Because I guess they didn't go to VAR for the 2 offsides that really could have screwed us. So it's not fair for them to go to VAR for us. And we're Toronto. So corner it is, and they didn't score off of it, even though that was a penalty. Should have been a penalty, and I think there was another earlier in the match that should have been a penalty. And we really should have won that game 1-0. Because if Pozuelo had the penalty, they would have scored it. I mean, come on. Come on. That game was horribly reffed. There were a couple of red cards, let's be honest, at least one. Should have been at least one penalty. Those offsides were the only thing correct. And he wasn't even wearing, and the main referee wasn't even wearing a pro referee's badge. You can't hide your stench of garbage. Minion. 4 blind minions, you can't hide your stench. MLS, why are you the way that you are? Why are you the way that you are? You're probably worse than Ligue 1. You're the one team that is overachieving in an aberration in MLS history you don't want to see win just because they're Canadian. You're basically doing something just as bad as the NBA is doing to the Toronto Raptors. Just because they're Canadian and they don't get you enough ratings and they're not Atlanta United or Milwaukee or LA. I'm also bringing some NBA references in there. You don't like us, but we're so good, we somehow, in spite of that, do great. But when you can screw us, you screw us. Because there's that chance you just have to take, don't you? Here's the thing. And people could say, oh, you're crazy. Why are you saying this? But let's be honest. MLS is part of CONCACAF. CONCACAF is one of the most scummiest confederations on planet Earth. They're worse than FIFA. And Sepp Blatter. And Gianni Infantino. And MLS ain't much better. And some ain't much better. Because they want to project your U.S. national team. The team that choked to Trinidad and Tobago, but somehow is going to do better in the next cycle with youngins. Josie Altidore is still your best striker. And you don't start him because Greg Berhalter has his heart on for Jossie Zardes. I don't get it. This is why Canada is going to win the Gold Cup. World Cup is 2026. Gold Cup is now. Here's the unless you're talking about the Women's World Cup, which will also happen, and the Nations League. Here's why Canada's going to win. Because Mexico, Vela, Hachi, Hector Herrera don't care. Most of your stars don't give a rat. And Canada's in your group. We're going to prove you wrong. And then the U.S. is going to make the fun. They're going to fall to the wayside like they always do. And not Tata's fault. It's the team's fault. Canada's going to make the final. U.S. makes the final somehow, some crazy way. And then Canada smacks them because the U.S. is trash. Plain and simple. Now, let me talk about the defense quick and let me wrap this up quickly. The defense played well. Zavaleta actually didn't make a mistake. Wow, nephew Zavaleta didn't make a mistake. Again, congratulations, nephew Zavaleta, for not making a mistake that led to a goal. Baby steps. You're going to become a competent defender soon. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on, get in. But yeah, great job on the defense, keeping it a 0-0 draw. We didn't get smash and grabbed on some stupid stuff because that's the only vestiges of the 2018 team left is we can come back, but we still do stupid stuff that could cost us. So that's pretty good. So I'd say the man of the match tonight was I'd say it's a tie between Auro and Alejandro Pozuelo. They both had very good outings tonight. Pozuelo tried to put that spark plug into the offense, but it just didn't happen in Auro. Oh my God, he was so close to scoring his first goal a couple of times. Auro, fair play. Great match by Auro. Great match by Auro. So, Toronto FC, DC tie. I'll take it any day of the week, especially after those 2 games on the skids. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. If you share it, subscribe, comment. If you see it on Reddit, give it an upvote, whatever. I also have to give a shout out to Finding Toronto Podcast. Thank you guys for shouting me out today. And check out their podcast on Apple Podcasts or Podbean or their Facebook. Follow them on Twitter at Finding Toronto because they are such a great podcast. I'm not just saying this because they shouted me out. I've listened to their podcast a lot. Great show. Great, funny guys. I mean, they are comedians, but, you know, follow them. Check out their podcast. There's a lot of good podcasts in Toronto FC land now that aren't the mothership. So check it out. I think I have to repay them, even though they didn't ask me. I have to repay them. Thank you guys for the shout out. I'm gonna shout you out in return. Check out their podcast, because I'm a nice guy who don't need to be asked to do stuff. So leave a comment if you want. Share it. Whatever you want to do. Tell all your friends that TFC might just be off the skids, because we have to win on Saturday. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.